Okay, is that one following me? What the hell?
All done. Should I take care of this now?
Yes. I was missing that. What is this? Another anomaly? It looks out of this world.
Hello?
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They're grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found Rapidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Limited circle, huh? Bullshit. The public has a right to know about such things.
I like your passion, Jan. You're an honest man. But you're under enough pressure already. We don't need the media to go berserk or the stock market to overreact. We don't need chaos down here while all our efforts should concentrate on supporting you up there. Your task is difficult enough, and failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the Rapidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rapidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I have mixed feelings. Sure, it's better to be alive, but I feel like a line's been crossed.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Of course.
Then we will understand each other well. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate Rapidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now, constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dolsky.
Okay, you're buttering me up for something big here. Let's cut to the chase.
Hard-headed. I like that. You've probably noticed how different Rapidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
So, you're afraid the Rapidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An Ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting Rapidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a Rapidium Arc should be your primary focus now.
Sounds like a big task. I should get to it straight away.
It is a big task, Jan, but it's worth every effort. I hope you realize the gravity of the moment.
I thought you said you didn't want to put pressure on me.
You're right. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
No. I'm good.
Then we only have one more issue to clear.
What's that?
You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of your altars.
I get it. I won't.
Good. You need to be aware there are no procedures at the ready for this sort of situation. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. Treading carefully is in your best interest.
I don't like the sound of this.
Rapidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with the remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much Rapidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? That's not the most important thing at the moment. Except for the fact it's the primary goal of the mission. Yes, but... Hey, wait. How do you know I found any Rapidium at all? Well... Isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because Here I am, with perfectly good eyesight, in the womb module, which could only lead to one conclusion. That my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found Rapidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. That's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information. And that's the interesting part. Yeah. Our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board. But there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? Why don't you rest a little? Get accustomed to the new reality? Which part of what I just said makes you think I'm not ready to start immediately? Well, in that case, your situation must be critical considering the lengths you went to. Something tells me there's no time to lose. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work.